Here's another type of question that you'll be asked. This one, just kind of take any notes that you'd like and just follow along. So which pair of numbers has a GCF of 15? So basically, out of those numbers, which one has a greatest common factor of 15? There's a few ways to solve this, but let's go through the options. So we have 10 and 15, 30 and 60, 21 and 45, and then 45 and 75. Um, so if we take a look at these, usually whenever we have math tests or NWA or anything like that, and we have multiple choice, we can take a few options away that really aren't reasonable. If we think about it, we think, yeah, that wouldn't make sense. So for example here, if we look at A, oops, let me turn my pen on, there we go. If we look at A, 10 and 15, okay, well, can a factor of 10 be 15? No, 15 is bigger than 10. So my factors of 10 are 1 and 10 and 2 and 5. So that's not even an option because 15 is larger than 10. So I can go ahead and cross that one out. 30 and 60 could make sense. And then let's look at C, 21 and 45. Um, on here it talks about how it doesn't end in a 0 or 5, so it can't be a factor of 15. If you think about it, 15 ends in a 5, 30 ends in a 0, 45 ends in a 5, 60 ends in 0. But even if you weren't thinking like that, or that's not something that you have memorized, if you look at it, you know that 15 doesn't go into 21. So you know off the top of your head that no, 21 wouldn't be an option. So this one's out as well. So that leaves us with B and D. And here's where you could choose to either do a factor tree or you could just list them out. In this option, you can see that they listed them out. So they listed the factors of 30, 60, and 60, and then they listed the factors of 45 and 75. So after listing out all the factors, and whenever they went back and did this, they double checked to make sure they didn't forget any factors. Um, they saw that the greatest common factor was 30, right? So the greatest common factor right here, they have all of these numbers in common that are circled, but the biggest one, the greatest one's 30. So you can see, I can go ahead and circle it, that the GCF of 30 and 60 is 30. So that's the biggest number that goes into 30 and 60. But down here, 45 and 75, you can see 1 goes into both, 3 goes into both, 5 goes into both, and then 15 is the biggest number, the greatest number that goes into both 45 and 75. So the greatest common factor of 45 and 75 is indeed 15. So the right answer to this would be D. Like I said, make sure you're using your common sense when you solve these types of problems. You know that the number, like the number 10, the greatest common factor could never be 15 since it's too small. It can't be smaller than 15. And then you know that if you know off the top of your head, yeah, 15 doesn't go into 21 or 15 doesn't go into 22, you can automatically cross those kinds of answers out too. So there you go. You have one problem to solve under here.